哎，同志们，大家好啊！那么我们这个今天继续回来给大家做这个闪3啊，首先啊，我们把这个迷宫已经闯完了啊，闯完了以后啊，我们先看一下啊，迷宫啊，看到左下方啊，这个地方啊，就是刚才我们打 BOSS 战的地方啊。这个 BOSS 战呢，首先啊，是啊这个一个魔皇兵啊。这个非常容易啊，这个魔皇兵基本上你就是爆一个李恩的这个大招啊 ，SG 啊，就是那个魔人化 SG 啊，再加上花5个这个 BP 点啊，来一个4人连续技啊，就结束了啊，非常简单。然后呢，出门走两步啊，就遇到了这3个啊，两个这个狙击枪和一个这个大剑啊的这个3人组的这个。他们是共和国的间谍啊，共和国的间谍3人组，打败了他们以后啊，他们逃跑了啊，然后我们现在就是要去追啊，我先把这个前情提要说一下啊，这个大概是这个迷宫啊，走完以后是发生了一些什么事情啊？行，咱们这个继续走啊，是从这里走出来啊？不对，是从这里走来啊，走进去啊，就是到这儿啊。继续追踪啊，追踪他们逃跑了啊！但是他们逃跑的时候说啊，他们用的是一种共和国现在目前更为先进的一种导地技术啊，已经超越了我们的这个 Arcus 2了啊，所以他们会什么移形换影之类的啊，就自己可以这个消失啊，就非常牛逼啊！好，他们说这里有密道啊。
You seem to be at wit's end.
哦，来了一位女性。哦，这不是那个什么吗 ？Emma 和这个那个谁魔女的这个长老嘛。现在这一次啊，大家都能看得到了。
That would be because I revealed myself to no one besides him, Reen Schwarzer. You have arrived in Heimdall at long last, yet you seem to find yourself in yet another pinch. Your luck truly is atrocious. Oh dear me. Such a cold rejection is like an arrow to my heart. I come all this way to help you, and this is how you greet me? Well, no matter. I am both kind and generous. As a sign of our friendship, I will show you the way.
在这个关键时刻帮了李恩一把啊！果然和 Vita 用的是一样的杖啊，一样的魔杖。哦，这个墙上有一个这个机关显现出来了。哦，它已经消失了。那我们就这个存个档啊，存个档就继续往前走。
This should be the right way. I can sense them. Follow me.
这儿有一个宝箱啊，哎，不对，宝箱应该在这儿啊。咱们秉着这个不走回头路啊，这个在这儿啊，果然，但是一路上都没有这个怪啊。 没有怪的这个迷宫走起来还是比较顺滑的，很愉快。哦，已经看到了。哎呦我操！有计时。哎呦，这我们肯定没戏啊！操！那不行，那不行，那不行！我们这个等一下啊，我们读个档，这不能失败吧？我知道了，就是我们那个不能那个开加速模式啊，这个地牢非常昏暗。我们要把加速模式取消，然后慢慢的一边看着地图一边前进啊。
This should be the right way. I can sense them. Follow me. Yeah.
应该就在前面这个地方触发剧情。然后我们现在把这个高速模式取消，就这么慢慢的走啊，慢慢的走，我们就有足够的时间来一边看地图啊，一边避开路障。
Come on! No one's this fast!
We need to find some way to catch up.
Instructor, this direction is...
I know. We've gone too far south. This is clearly out of city bounds.
又失败了。哎，既然如此，我们这一次啊，先摸清一下这个道路。再来一次啊！妈的，我不信了。我们刚才啊不小心还推到了一下这个快速键啊，导致我们这个还是稍微走错了一下。哎，可以跑啊，可以跑的。
Come on! No one's this fast!
We need to find some way to catch up.
Instructor, this direction is...
I know. We've gone too far south. This is clearly out of city bounds.
哎，这次成功了啊！这次成功了。
It does. We can't afford to let them go.
赶紧啊！这次成功了，我们存在这里啊，万一也出什么问题啊
Looks like an ambush. Prepare to engage.
这是一片墓地。哦，
We
抓到
secured
了。
all 3 of their new battle ordnance.
Nice job. I'll hold on to those for you.
We refuse to divulge our affiliation or names.
International law mandates proper treatment of us as prisoners of war.
You're pretty bossy for someone who's surrendered.
Well, I'm certain the Intelligence Division will give you your proper treatment.
So long as you do not resist or attempt to flee, we will guarantee your lives.
Took you long enough.
Hey guys, what's up?
Are any of you injured?
We're fine. I see all your preparations paid off, Major.
You had this planned from all the way back when we met at the race course, didn't you?
We were dancing at the end of his strings the whole time.
What? He planned this whole thing?
Is that even possible?
If anyone would be capable of such a feat, it would be the Scarecrow.
Hey now, I'm only human. This is all just a happy coincidence. We were finally able to catch the spies we've all been after. You should think of this as teamwork.
How?
I can see how it would feel like we've stolen your prey out from under you. It's true that this place is southwest of Heimdall, so it does fall under your jurisdiction. Would you prefer if we handed them over to you?
It was Class 7 that flushed them out of hiding and wore them out. It doesn't matter who turns them in. Each of our groups should be thankful for the other's assistance.
That's right. We should be glad they didn't manage to get away. You're all fine with this, right, guys?
Yes.
No objections.
We'll leave it to you.
被抢了功劳。Himmel Cemetery。 Crow。 哦，这里还有一个任务啊！哦，拍照任务吧。顺便把那个 Black Record 给 Rosine。
Hello there, Reen. You found... Very well. Leave... So... No. Oh.
哎，我们之前有没有 update 过 Monk？ 啊，已经 update 过了啊，那就不用 update 了。那我们这个直接就去到这个 Crow 的墓地。 哦，这有只猫。哎 ，Crow Armbrust。
The year the Civil War took place.
I see. So he was
one of your friends from Class 7?
Yeah. Crow Armbrust. He was actually a year ahead of us, like Instructor Toa. It was only for a short time, but he joined our class. We did all sorts of things together. Field studies, the school festival. He was a little brash and even more of a troublemaker. But he was caring, reliable, and one of the best friends you could ask for. Even though we became enemies once the Civil War broke out.
It's gonna be pretty sweet, guys. Oh, and since we're all classmates now, no need for all that sweet talking you lay on the other second years, all right? But at the end of the day, I'm C. That's the real deal. The Crow Armbrust you've known all this time, he isn't real. He never was. Okay, we've talked long enough. Let's go. I won't let anyone interfere. This is going to be our final battle.
As I was affiliated with the Noble Alliance, I knew a little about him. He was the leader of the terrorist group known as the Imperial Liberation Front. He was also referred to as the Azure Chevalier.
Oh, I heard about him. He and his Azure Knight wiped the floor with the Imperial Army.
Yes. But right at the end, he finally returned to Class 7. When a calamity from 2.5 centuries ago rose again and seized the Crown Prince, we all worked together. Me, Crow, the rest of Class 7, even Vita. We put everything aside and gave our all to rescue the prince. Crow even put himself in danger to open up a way for me, but he was fatally injured as a result. What happened there pushed all of us in Class 7 to move forward. I decided to stay at Thors with Valimar and fulfill the government's orders. Everyone else graduated, and each of them decided to do what they could. We all pledged to meet up again in these turbulent times and find an answer together.
You've never mentioned this before.
I had the impression you and the members of the old Class 7 were planning something, but...
I thought only the SSS had that kind of determination. But you're just like them, Instructor.
What a bunch of starry-eyed dreamers. Normal people don't just go around spouting lines like that, you know.
I think it's lovely.
Well, that's what those of us in the old Class 7 decided to do. There will come a time when you guys will need to decide how you're going to move forward as a class. And I plan to give you all the support I can until that time comes. Just like how our instructors and upperclassmen supported us.
Understood. Thank you.
It's encouraging to hear that. You have our thanks for your guidance.
I still do not completely understand myself, but I feel like I've gained a lot in these past few months.
I haven't given up on making you mine, Instructor. But putting that aside for a moment, I think in a way something guided me to join all of you in Class 7.
Well, I guess I can keep tagging along with you for a bit. That way, it'll be all the easier to pass you up.
这一段剧情小剧情还是很感人的啊。
What's wrong, Yuna?
There's something shiny in the dirt here.
Someone dropped their jewelry?
Should we turn it into the Gravekeeper?
It looks like quite a lovely brooch. I'm sure its owner...
Is something wrong, Muse?
这个是 Angelica 的吧？
I feel like I've seen it before.
That crazy biker chick had something like that on, didn't she?
Can I see it a moment?
Angelica.
There's no doubt. This is Angelica's.
So she came here sometime after we saw her last month?
Could it have been sitting here since then? Hey, it's been bugging me for a bit, but does the dirt here look off to anyone else?
当时这个 Angelica 把 Crow 的墓给撬开了啊，发现里面没有人，没有尸体。然后呢，那个时候乔治突然出现了啊，然后就拔枪对着他啊，然后他们聊了一通以后，乔治就开枪了啊。我们确实最后听到了开枪声的，土松动的痕迹。
It looks different around this grave.
As if it's recently been dug up.
Toa, are you at camp right now? I need to talk with the major and the principal.
这个学生们都各自去聊天了啊，看来我们这个事态变得有点紧张了啊，音乐也开始有点变化。Makes no sense yet. So basically, the grave was empty. Yes, 啊，他们已经去撬开了。That's correct. There was nothing there at all. Nobody, not even the cloth that was wrapped around it. 当时是他们亲自去下葬他的啊，这个是在闪鬼2结束的时候啊，这个是在回忆他们当时去掘墓的这个过程。What does this mean? In all my years, oh, adios, please guide us. Are you certain Crow Armbrust was buried here? Could there have been some mistake? No, all of the old Class 7 and Towers group were at his funeral. It was just a week after the end of the Civil War. I met the Azure Chevalier once or twice at Noble Alliance camps. I remember thinking it was a waste for someone like him to be used by Duke Cayenne. On top of that, there was that accessory from Lord Ragnar's daughter you found. We don't know for sure if something happened here just yet. Yes, but we should notify the Marquis and the other groups right away. It also concerns me how there's no smell of decay in the grave. 没有腐烂的气味啊，在这个墓地里面。Herschel, Schwarzer, I don't doubt you saw the Azure Chevalier's body got buried here. But, are you sure it was the real thing? 你们确不确定那个东西，他的尸体是真的啊 I see, does that mean it was some kind of dummy? Oh yeah, now that I think about it, there's this old guy in the society who can make dolls that look just like people. In principle, it's not impossible. You'd need to reproduce the skeleton, muscle structure, and so on. However, the body aside, from what I've heard, the Azure Chevalier most certainly died. Yes, I saw it happen with my own eyes. I saw his body too, but only after the infernal castle had disappeared. Well, then perhaps it was swapped out between those points. Or perhaps he was resurrected for some reason, like a certain saint and Jaeger King I could mention. 啊，他说他是被复活了啊，比如就像这个钢之圣女啊，以及这个列兵王啊。That's, if you think about it, that seems like something that could have happened. Impossible, it's simply too outlandish. Major Michael, can I ask you something? After the infernal castle disappeared, the Imperial Army recovered the Azure Knight. Is it still secure? 哦，他们拿走了机体啊。I'm sure the Republic isn't behind it, but we also need to be concerned about the safety of the Ragnar girl. Please contact the Ragnar estate immediately. Understood, I'll check in with Garrelia Fortress. All forces have also been informed about the daughter of the Marquis going missing. Also regarding the disappearance of the special trainee from the Roa Institute of Technology 啊，这是指乔治啊，乔治也失踪了。We can't get in touch with George either. It happened around the same time as Angie. Either they were kidnapped together, or there's no point guessing now. You have other things to think about at the moment. That's right. Scarlet Pleroma grass class 7 encountered, and a new type of golem from the Dark Ages. As if those two aren't bad enough, we also have the Republic's Hercules squad to deal with. I heard some strange little blonde girl was spotted too. I think we can disregard her for now. 谁呀 哦，就是那个长老啊，长老。I'm most concerned about the Scarlet Pleroma grass and the Special Forces. According to the Intelligence Division, there are about 100 members. They are all supposed to be really strong too, right? That's right. On top of that, they've got a new battle augment. They call it Ramda. It wouldn't be a stretch to say we're completely in the dark about how strong they really are. Arundel sent us a report on the augments, but apparently they are one big black box. My guess is each one is customized to suit its user, and they make them impossible to analyze from the outside. Well, that's a pain. Interesting, have them send them here. I'd like to look upon the Vern Company's latest technology with my own eyes. What? Well, maybe I can negotiate for one of the models. Either way, the summer festival begins the day after tomorrow. We received a notice to capture and disable Calva Special Forces by the end of the day tomorrow. This notice isn't from Heimdall City Hall, but the Imperial Government itself, personally signed by Chancellor Osborne. The Blood and Iron Chancellor? But it makes sense, the day after tomorrow is the festival. After receiving the notice, the Intelligence Division, Railway Military Police, and Heimdall Military Police have all increased patrols in the city. In addition, both the guild and the main campus will begin to act at full capacity. However, it seems the agents have thoroughly investigated the network of tunnels underneath the capital. There's a chance we'll be unable to apprehend them if they ran into a secret passage. 4 p.m. tomorrow. If things are not settled by then, the government will invoke martial law. And call in the 4th Armored Division. What? They go that far? That will send the civilians into a panic. Yep, it's the most logical option. How interesting that I should be invited to such a celebration. Perhaps I should bring a gift. Orlando Herschel. Divide combat tactics and military finance in two. We'll create 2 mixed teams. Orlando and I will each lead one and come through the underground tunnels in the west half of Heimdall. We'll eradicate our unwanted guests and the Scarlet Pleroma grass all at once. Wow, where's this coming from all of a sudden? We can't eradicate the Special Forces agents. It's simply a figure of speech. But it will certainly be encouraging to have the principal in the field with us. Even more so if Herschel and I handle communication and backup duties. In that case, I'll prepare communication wave amplifiers for you. If you use it well, you'll be able to build a communication network underground. If I provide the main campus and the guild with them as well, it should work. Something like that even exists? Alright, George gave us some for our field study 2 years ago. It was originally my invention. He seems to have made some improvements, however. I thought they might prove useful for something or other, so I brought them along. What a strange coincidence. You should have told us you brought something like that sooner. 你应该早点告诉我们。Well, alright then. Guess I'll go get ready. I'm a little worried about the students, but I'm sure they'll be fine with the principal and Randy. It's important we stay in contact with the guild and the main campus too. Class 7 and I will continue to patrol the capital and the surrounding areas. I'm certain there are things in the shadows that can only be revealed by bracer works. Besides, we'll have all those reliable connections of yours watching the camp for us while we are away. That's exactly right. Oh, by the way, it's almost time? Alright, I need to excuse myself soon. Well, your meeting may also serve as a good way to exchange information with a number of parties. However, don't get back too late. 他要去见他的同学了。It's his long-awaited reunion. Getting back tomorrow morning might be a bit too much, but staying out past midnight I'll be fine, yeah? Have fun, Rian. I will, but does that mean you're not? I think I'll pass this time. I still have a bunch of things I need to get ready for tomorrow, and I need to contact the Marquis. Understood. I'll make sure to talk to everyone about Angelica and George too. Yes, please be sure to say hi to everyone for me. Off you go then. "7 p.m. at the Guild Hall on Vista Street. I should be able to make it by bike. Once I'm done getting ready, I'll leave the camp." 应该还有一些自动能够行驶的，能自由行动啊。这个地方我们先进来啊，我们找 Sandy 把任务交了。我们已经找到了3个这个什么玩意儿了啊？应该是在下一个车厢。Do this on another day 啊，现在还不行啊，这什么意思啊？奇了怪了。
Oh, this.
那我们就走吧。他的名字总让我想起奥雷利亚风行者。行，咱们就撤吧，直接去走着。他很激动啊。 哦，已经到了啊！来存个档。灯火通明，大家都在。
There he is. Come in, come in.
Pardon me?
Oh, Reen, you're finally here.
果然大家都全到了啊。
Guess I'm last. Sorry to have kept you.
No worries. You're right on time.
Besides, we all know you had your field exercises to deal with.
Well, as fully grown members of society and working professionals, we should be in the habit of arriving 10 minutes early.
Says the man who waltzed in a mere 5 minutes ago.
The guild branch's reopening came at a good time.
Yes, I'm sure most restaurants are completely full around now.
I can hardly believe we were all finally able to meet up again.
I know, right? Especially since we're all so dang busy these days.
That's right. We'll certainly have a lot to talk about tonight.
Good grief.
Now, everyone. No need to dive into the serious stuff right away. Come on, it's our first big reunion since you all graduated. Let's cut loose a little.
Perhaps it would be best to start this reunion with a series of tender embraces. And not just among the women, of course. All your male classmates should enjoy the comfort of each other's arms, too.
Not on my
Hell
life.
no!
Sharon! Same as ever.
Yes, it's almost a little surprising.
The time and place may be different, but in the end, we're all the same people.
Well, we have all been chatting it up on that app of ours.
When you put it that way, it kind of takes the drama out of things.
Hey, you grew taller. Lisa, you grew even prettier. And Emma, you grew even chestier.
Chestier.
I was hoping you wouldn't mention that.
That hairstyle makes you look like an old man.
You're one to talk!
Reen, you and Gaius are just way too tall now.
Don't worry. I think I'm done growing now.
Out of all of us, you seem to have grown the least, Milliam.
Excuse you! I grew one whole reach!
We finally fulfilled our promise.
Yeah. Elisa, everyone, thanks.
Oh, please. For what?
It's not like we all got together just for your sake, you know.
Machias is blushing.
Well, we are celebrating Reen's graduation, too.
Yes. After we had left, he stayed behind to uphold the spirit of Class 7.
Not to mention he's the one in charge of the next generation of Class 7ers.
It's been said before, but you truly are the core of our group, Reen.
Thank you for everything.
You guys.
We're starting to sound way too sappy.
Starting to. You guys have all been like this for years.
I suppose there's no avoiding it. Today especially.
In any event, we have the party set up in the back. I've prepared more than enough alcohol, so please enjoy, provided you're old enough.
Oh man, I get to have Sharon's cooking again.
I can't wait.
I knew I smelled something tasty. Alright, give me the biggest, frothiest mug of beer you got!
You're nowhere near being old enough to drink.
只有米利亚姆还没有成年，他不能喝酒。这一趴确实很感动啊！好，扯淡完了，现在应该要开始说正事儿了吧？这个一屋子啊，这个游击士协会这一屋子人，就是整个帝国的未来的希望啊！同志们，你们看一看啊，政界、商界啊、科技界啊、武术界、军事界啊、游击士协会界啊。整个这个帝国未来的荣光都在这帮人身上啊！你敢信啊？要开始谈正事了啊！Gargantua. Mirror, people, information, they're all being channeled into a few key projects. The 8 Metropolis Plan, all the tax money in the entire empire has been consolidated in Heimdall and converted into a never-before-seen amount of military funds. Seems pretty clear what's going on. All these things point to the same goal. The invasion of the Republic of Calvard. There's no mistaking it. Calvard's spies being here only serve to reinforce that hypothesis. So that means their goal is not to sabotage, but gathering information. 他们不是来搞破坏的啊，只是潜入来做间谍，获取情报。Yeah, if they actually went and did anything, the war would be on right then and there. They're probably trying to figure out the D-Day, where the invasion is planned to start. Just like I thought. Touring around the empire, I'd heard rumors here and there suggesting there'd be a war. I wouldn't be surprised if my mother knew about this already too. Between the railway cannons, the new airships, and mass production of tanks and panzer soldats, there's no way she could have greenlit all those projects without knowing what they were for. On top of that, there's a huge factory being constructed in Crossville. But given all that, the question becomes why? War between the two massive countries could ravage most of the continent. It's true that Erebony and Calvert have been at it like cats and dogs for hundreds of years, but are they really just going to throw down? A war that size would bring the international trade to a screechy halt, so none of the other countries are going to be too pleased. Besides, in order to start a war, they'd need authorization from the Emperor. There's no way he'd allow it without justification. Well, that wasn't an issue for the invasions of Crossbell and Northumbria. The justification was fabricated, and statements from other countries were shut down. The one who set all this up is none other than Gilead Osborne. As his son, I think I have a unique understanding of just how dangerous that man is. 作为他的儿子啊 You don't need to worry so much about that. I feel the same way about my older brother, Rufus Alberia, the head of the Iron Bloods. I suspect he's no mere confidant. I won't be surprised to discover it was he who laid the plans for the invasions and the early stages of the wars. Yeah, I'd say the odds are pretty good. Recently, he's been acting pretty secretive with me. He's even been keeping stuff from Claire and Lecter. 哦，这是说这个尤西斯的哥哥啊，这个 Rufus 啊，这个最近啊，这个开始神神秘秘的啊，这个有事儿也不告诉这个米利亚姆啊，不告诉 Claire 和雷克特啊，同样作为铁血之子啊。The most important thing being information about the Black Workshop, 黑色工坊啊。Yet another group lurking in the shadows of the Civil War. Both my brother and the Black Rabbit were lent to the Noble Alliance. If the invasion is the surface stuff, these guys are definitely one of the behind-the-scenes topics. That said, the two are more tightly woven together than ever now. I think it's safe to say now that the Black Workshop is related to the gnomes who once fought the Hexen clan. 这个黑色工坊啊，肯定是与地精有关啊。地精曾经和这个魔女啊之间啊这个常年的征战啊，常年的战斗。It seems they've cut ties with Ouroboros and have sided with Chancellor Osborne. 这个地精啊，曾经是和这个结社啊站在一起的，现在他们和结社的关系给切断了啊。他们选择和宰相奥斯本啊共同作战。They also hired the boss and that masked guy. He called himself Azure Siegfried. 苍之齐格飞。I can't believe it, but both the masked man and the Jaeger King flew off in what appeared to be divine nights. Between them and the maiden, I get the feeling something specially ominous is building. Yes, it all reminds me of the circumstances that led to the War of the Lions and the arrival of the Infernal Castle. Something buried deep in Erebonia's history and connected to the Divine Knights. I discovered this while searching for my sister. As I've mentioned, the spirit veins in Erebonia have begun to pulse faster and fast. 地下的药经脉的这个脉动啊，这个跳动的越来越快了，在帝国底下啊。Just like during the Civil War, nah, just like the War of the Lions 250 years ago, 就像250年前的这个狮子心之战一样啊。Following the annexation of Crossbell and Northumbria, it's only started to speed up. 在吞并了克洛斯贝尔和北安布里亚以后啊，这种脉动啊变得更加快了。It's the quickening of the spirit veins that's causing the cryptid magic nuts and the scarlet pleroma grass to appear. 就是因为这种药经脉的这个快速的这种跳动啊，导致了这种各种这个魔皇兵啊这个那个那叫什么？ 这个魔皇兵就是那个红的那个草啊，红的花啊，这个出现。A link between the surface and what's happening beneath. From the sound of it, the only ones who knew the full truth are Vida, Chancellor Osborne, Ouroboros, and the Black Workshop. I wish my memory hadn't been erased. It's so frustrating not being able to remember anything from back then. I'm sure Homunculi and combat shells are super connected to all that behind the scenes stuff. So I'm technically not human. But besides the part of me that lets me link with Lammy, my DNA is pretty much the same as any of yours. I'm starting to think my growth was stunted, though. Don't know how long my lifespan is supposed to last either. Milliam. I've heard a bit about that. 游戏死不高兴了啊。A Black Workshop, unforgivable. Glad we got Milliam and Altina from there. I can't forgive them for playing with someone's life like that. Yeah, I've been starting to think that recently too. Like, I'm fine with whatever happens to me, but I'm worried about Tilly. I see. It seems you have grown after all. Alright, we got some information from the branch campus earlier. Why don't you tell us the details, Rian? Oh, you mean about the cemetery? Oh, that. We got the same report in the intelligence division. 他告诉大家啊，这个 Crow 这个根本不在里面。Considering how the boss came back to life, maybe the same thing happened with Crow. Both of them are working for the Black Workshop. No, the gnomes. Are you saying they brought both of them back to life? Emma, do you know of any spell capable of performing such a feat? There's a forbidden spell known as False Soul. 错误的灵魂，这是一个禁忌的法术。But it was only ever attempted by wizards in the Dark Ages, and it's never once successfully resurrected anyone. It was said that most of the subjects became fiends known as the Nosferatu. That name rings a bell. That was the name of the creature we encountered at Longharing Castle. That monster. The Yiga King and Masked Man are certainly nothing like that abomination. I guess there's a chance the gnomes were somehow able to perfect the spell, but I doubt it. True resurrection is something only the goddess is capable of. I see. Trying to think about this stuff is making my head spin. Either way, something very strange is going on right now. And in the midst of it, Angelica and George have both gone missing. About that, I'm having the guild's informants look into their disappearances. Sorry, strong. Understood. Many mysteries yet remain, but that should be sufficient for today. We're starting to piece things together little by little. We should continue to look into matters until all is made clear. Now we need to decide as a class on what actions we should take.
There are two things for sure. We need to stop the war that's been building on the surface before it starts.
首先啊，有两件事情要做。首先，第一件事情是阻止战争啊，尤其是阻止和共和国的战争。
At the same time, we need to find out what's been going on behind the scenes and prevent whatever disasters being planned.
另外一件事就是找出这个幕后啊，到底发生了什么事情啊，阻止这个一切的悲剧发生。
Everything else might be really complicated, but those two goals are set in stone.
This is something only we can figure out, thanks to each of us having branched out on our own.
If we each make the most of our unique situations and pool information
together, we will be able to overcome any obstacle we may come across.
Right, no matter whether it's on the surface or behind the scenes.
We don't have many allies, nor are we alone.
Agreed. Let us find those willing to aid our cause. Wait, Milliam, are you okay with all of this? You do realize standing with us will eventually mean standing against your fellow Ironbloods.
That's right. Fighting cryptids and magic knights is one thing, but...
Think this over and tell us what you want to do, Milliam.
You're gonna ask me that now?
Huh?
Milliam? I don't remember anything before the past 5 years, but I started to think about some stuff, like what I am, and what it means to feel sadness. I've been thinking about this stuff ever since I met you guys 2 years ago. I want to learn more about myself. I want to keep being your guys' friend. I like Gramps and Claire and Lecter, but I want to find out what I am on my own terms. I don't like the idea of the Black Workshop controlling what I do and don't know. Even if it means going against Gramps, I'm a member of Class 7 till the end. I'm more than just the Black Workshop's OZ-73, the Ironblood's White Rabbit, and an agent of the Intelligence Division. Reen, Eustace, Elisa, Emma, Fee, Laura, Elliot, Machias, Gaius, Sarah, all you guys. When I cried for the first time, it was all of you who held me close. I'll always put you, my friends, first.
Milliam.
I see.
I swear, I think that caught us all off guard.
I had no idea you felt that way about us.
You may not have grown much physically, but you've definitely done a lot of growing on the inside.
Agreed. In that sense, I think it's safe to say you grew the most out of any of us.
I suppose we needn't worry about you anymore.
It was silly of us to doubt her after all this time.
You guys just can't resist the chance for an inspirational speech, can you?
Well, now that you've decided what to do, you guys seem more determined than ever. For your more immediate plans, what are you all going to be up to tomorrow?
The new Class 7 and I will continue with our special ops missions. I think it's especially important we capture the Calvardian agents.
I agree.
If we let them roam free, whatever they do could be used as an excuse to start a war.
Yep, just like how Celtic was used to start the Northern War.
I'll continue playing my shows around the city and gather information.
I'll come with you and see what I can find too.
I'll keep following Grandfather and hit up some contacts of mine for info.
Celine and I will continue to investigate the spirit veins around Heimdall.
So the plan's for everyone to gather info, and then we'll all meet up and share notes, yeah?
Yes. Let's stay in contact and be ready to move at a moment's notice.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
Look at you. You're all so reliable now. But it's getting a bit late. How about we call it a night? I'll set up a call with everyone early tomorrow morning, and we can talk about our plans in more detail.
Yeah, sounds good.
Get some good rest tonight, everyone.
Are you two racer types gonna stay here for the night?
There are beds on the second floor.
I'll be sleeping at home for the first time in a while. I assume the same can be said of you, Elliot?
Yeah, I called my sister. Guys will be staying with us tonight.
Thanks again. I appreciate the hospitality.
Oh, I nearly forgot. We have yet to discuss your situation, Gaius.
That's right.
We were unable to contact you for nearly half a year.
You were somewhere outside the country, right?
Yes, but it's quite the tale, so it may be better to leave for next time. We're gonna meet up again before too long, so I'll tell you then.
True.
I guess it wouldn't be fair if I heard it first, huh?
Oh, and I was wondering about that little blonde girl you mentioned seeing, Reen.
I was wondering about that myself.
You said she looked 10 years old. Could be a witch in training?
Well, that isn't right, but I guess it's not wrong either. She went missing and we've been looking all over for her.
Sheesh, her and Vita both just wander wherever they want without telling us a thing. But whatever. I'm sure we'll have to introduce you to her soon.
Now I'm even more curious.
Got it. I'll be looking forward to it.
好，大家今天晚上就基本上就各自散去，然后明天啊，各自去做各自的事情，基本上就是这个去收集信息啊，收集消息啊。 好，苍之齐格飞啊，这是 Crow。
Something wrong?
啊，乔治。
No, just a nostalgic smell wafting around. I understand what I am, and the situation I'm in.
Is that so? Would it be selfish if I said I'd rather you hated me?
Copper Joe. Copper Georg.
That question itself is completely pointless. Give me Albrecht's orders, Copper Georg.
Georg.
Tell me what role I'm supposed to play in tomorrow's act.
All right. No. Azure Siegfried.
Azure Siegfried. 好，这帮人又是卡尔瓦德的这个细作。哦，这不就是刚才提到的啊？这种类似于这个死神的一样的怪啊。团灭。
Damned fools. I'm too late. Were that prodigal child with me, we might have dealt with this together. Between the gnomes and the snakes, there are too many plots in motion for me to stop on my own. Perhaps I need to create more kin. The day Leanne spoke of is close at hand. If nothing else, I must settle matters from 200 years ago before then. I vow it on the name of the final true ancestor, the one that failed to die, Crimson Roselia.
This is truly an honor.
哎，为什么 BP 才31点啊？哎，我们少了一个传说中的食谱啊。
Here, a reward. Good work out there.
传说中的食谱，我们不知道还能不能交任务啊？应该可以交吧？应该可以交吧？这个太扯了，要是不能交。 不能交问题应该也不大，我可以重新再打一遍啊，因为没有这么战斗啊，全部都是剧情，我们直接全部跳过就完事儿了。 今天是这个分校区全线出动啊，连奥雷利亚分校长和兰迪也出动了。他们将分散到这个地下区，抓捕这个共和国的这个奸细。Sign as tree is distress。这个直接去找这个李岩的妹妹就行了啊，但是这个应该是主线任务啊，哎，这不是主线任务，这是分线这个，又和上次一样，都是这个，都完成就行了啊。Simons in the airport cargo department for more details。啊，这个是杀怪啊。完成2个就可以继续前进啊。等一下，哎，终于我们可以交任务了啊 ！Sandy 的这个任务可以交了。这个任务，这个支线任务看起来还是很大啊，直接是一段大剧情。
Bon appétit!
Ariel Langheim， 奥利维尔的这个乳母。My hometown, Ulster, is also the hometown of Prince Oliver's mother, so it's also where the prince grew up. Langheim Risotto。好，Sandy 的第2个这个，哎，我们看一眼这个 Quest， 哎 ，AP Gain 4啊，这个就是我们刚才少了的4啊，行吧，那我们这个今天要不就到这儿了啊，这个时间也是这个1小时10分钟了，今天这个做过了一点啊，行，那么我们感谢大家观看啊，我们下次再见，拜拜。